you just brought up a perfect segue for in South Korea and
Yes.
implementation. So why don't you share with us kind of what your experience has been, I guess in the early days, right? Maybe some projects that were known, and then also now share with us, how many projects or how many and how they're getting implemented. Are they all like, is it for, let's just say, parking within a shopping center, or is it part of the building? And some buildings obviously can have automated or the parking system. It could have retail, it could have hotel, it could have apartments.
Right.
Like I'm sure in Dubai, you have one building, you can put everything you want in those in that building. So talk to us about now the I guess the adoption and how Koreans feel about having automated parking in the city or in the country.
So when comparing it real quick, when comparing it to how the west side of the world has been dealing with this parking system solutions,
Mhm.
it's a thing now. It's new. There's people who don't know about it, who are scared of it, actually, of go ahead and be the first to implement it.
Yeah.
But in this side of the world, what I can tell you is that they have more than 20 years. People, normal people, are used to this parking system. Actually, when in South Korea has been like the situation about parking has been like so much that when people don't see a parking tower and they see an actual concrete building with ramps, they are like, what, this is so old, why is this here? This is such a waste. Korea is a super high populated like country. Seoul alone has more population than whole countries around the world.
20 million
And
plus, yeah, something like
right? So when you have so many people in one city and you have to accommodate all of them and their cars,
yeah.
this type of solutions are not a luxury, they are a necessity, right?
Right.
And looking to that demand is that this company actually started like more than 30 years ago. I'm talking about the 90s,
Wow, early
1960s,
days.
right, and the 70s. So this industry is a very there's a lot of competence in
Mm,
locally. Actually, there's a lot of
okay,
companies because as it is a demand,
yeah.
people, more suppliers are appearing, so more competence, and they have to focus on other features than just providing efficiency,
Right.
right? So in South Korea, I would say, as a person that has lived here for 7 years already, before I came to Korea, in Dominican Republic, it's super different situation. We don't have parking system whatsoever.
There's no
And
need, right?
right,
Yeah,
there's no need. And there was like a stalker, simple stalkers that were installed a couple of years ago, but still,
yeah.
So when I came here and I came in front of one of these parking towers, I was actually super afraid. All these cars are just stacking here. Like, what if they fall,
I know.
and I don't know how to use it. Like, is anybody going to explain me? I didn't speak Korean by that time. But then actually, after you go around Seoul for some time, and not only Seoul, the other cities, like
Yeah,
Busan, the
Busan.
other maiden cities, right? This is so common. I think every country, I want to say country, every building actually in Seoul has a type of parking tower, even if it's a basement
Right.
or like above a standing tower.
Got it.
This building actually has a puzzle type in the
Oh, it's a
basement
puzzle type.
one, right?
Yeah,
It's because there is no space. So parking towers are a thing.
yeah,
They are in almost every building in South Korea, shopping malls, residents. It doesn't matter because it's a need already, right? But here I do have noticed like a pattern
mhm,
that you won't have the big ones, the 900 ones, 800 ones, right? You
mm,
will have parking towers that can provide parking for buildings. Buildings are not that high if it's residence type.
right.
There are like middle, I would say 6, 7 floors.
Mhm.
So you would have a parking system for 50, 60, maybe 20 cars, but it's definitely a thing though.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, I just want to highlight that beyond even Korea, like obviously Japan and Tokyo being super dense, Germany, these are all the cities in the world that early on had a need, and they started the early, work on figuring out how
Right.
to even automate parking, which we got to this point. So I can't agree more. And I think we here in the US tend to be so just within our own bubble, right? And so it's like we're looking at, well, there's no real clear examples of that much. I mean, New York City, has some, which is great, but surprisingly not as much as the city deserves or needs. You know, like there should be
Right?
more,
That's a
way more.
very New York, it's a very interesting market for us, you know, because it has all the similar qualities as
Yeah,
Seoul, you know, and like,
yeah,
how is this not a thing over there? You know, there's so many traffic problems and there's so many people. How are buildings not actually taking this as a real solution for their problems?
yeah.
It's very interesting,
It
actually.
is. It is.